Hello, everybody. This is Rev Sue Frederick, and I am so excited to talk to you in this Patreon group, Numerology group, about the number one of 2026, the universal year of the one. We have never been more ready for a new beginning, for a rebirth of the collective than we are now as we enter 2026. This is such good news for us. You know, when you look back at your own life in numerology and you say, gee, how did I get through those hard moments? And you compare your 9 year reinvention moments when you went through painful lessons and you had to surrender what you thought you wanted and allow the universe to give you what was really for your highest good. That's where we are now turning to say, okay, I've cleaned out the closet. I've surrendered what no longer serves me. I've gotten rid of beliefs and ideas that are holding me back. I've surrendered my discontent with the world. I've surrendered my unhappiness with the consciousness level of the collective. And I am opening now to the new energy of the one of 2026. And to all of you, that's good news because no matter what you have struggled with in the last 9 years, now it's time to just forget about it, let it go, and be completely open to the new, the next, and the better of the new 9 year universal cycle that starts next week in January. But we're also feeling it already now. So I want to talk about what you personally can be doing to get ready for, embrace, and accept this new one energy. You know, I've been talking about this a lot lately because the angels told me first thing you have to tell people is they've got to quit holding on to all the hard things that happened in the last 9 years, in particularly the hard things that happen in 2025. Those might be broken relationships due to political discussions or differences. They might be relationships that fell apart, careers that didn't work out. Now you take a big breath and you step into that trust of divine order that has always been guiding you, and you forget about the past hurts, disappointments, heartbreaks, and even your devastating moments of the past year and the past 9 years. You just let it all go. Step into that spiritual amnesia where you're not holding grudges, you're not angry about any of it, not disappointed, letting it go. Now you've opened your heart, and your mantra for this year moving forward is I accept the divine order of this universe that is gracefully and lovingly bringing us collectively into the new, next, and better. And we have to trust. It is a year of trusting that even though it might take a little while to see the evidence of these changes, of these frequency shifts, we are trusting that what is good and better and serving our highest good is going to unfold. And the 1 year carries certain challenges, the one universal year. Those challenges are it can feel lonely, like we're kind of all in this alone. We're not feeling totally connected to one another, but it's because we're here to be each getting our own direction set, our own intention. So you have to ask yourself, what is my intention for this new and better cycle in the world, in the universe? How will I go about communicating with people who maybe I don't agree with? Or how will I bring my own light to the world in a brighter, kinder, compassionate, more loving and powerful way? These are the questions for you in your heart moving forward. The other thing is to reignite your understanding and belief that the angels are always with you, that they are your first responders, so that even if something difficult or scary happens, especially in our one universal year, and think about it. What's going to wake up the collective here to learn love and compassion rather than hatred and division? I'm gonna have to tell you, you already know the answer to that. There will be some events that are maybe fear-inducing or disturbing or painful, designed by higher universe to bring us together, to connect us heart to heart. And on a very simple level, that could be little things like, a storm, an earthquake, a hard weather event that happens. On a bigger event, it could be things like the extraterrestrials finally reveal themselves to us and change our whole understanding of the universe. I would kind of love that. But these are the things that will be happening in the next 9 years, and especially starting in 2026. So open your heart to that. And if it ever feels frightening, you go right to the angels and you say, Angels, oh, I trust you are with me no matter what's going on in the outside world. Lift me, love me, hold me in truth, hold me in courage, and you will feel the answer. Yesterday I was going for a walk and I said to the angels, I'm so upset about the state of the world right now and, disappointed in parts of humanity. And I said, I've never really felt this way so deeply before. How can you help me? And the angel said to me so clearly, what do you need, Sue? And I loved that question because as I went into my heart, I said, I guess I just need bigger, stronger wisdom to understand it from the soul's view. And the angels just poured that over me and through me. And by the time I got home, it had washed clean, any disappointment I had about the world, about wars, about politics, about human behavior. It had really washed it back into that higher soul view that, okay, I understand the souls are playing this out. My job is to focus on the high frequency that I can, maybe to go sit down with Jean, which we did, and watch a great comedy movie, which we did, and laugh and get our energy in the right place. These are the things we have to be doing. I wrote down some different notes that the angels gave me. Also remembering that every day you have to start the day with some form of meditation, whatever works for you, because 2026 is your new beginning of how the collective will move forward. We can't do that well if we're in our human mind. So we have to spend that 10 to 20 minutes either doing sacred mantra meditation like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, or you can repeat the Lord's Prayer if that's more comfortable, quieting the mind, quieting the mind. And as the thoughts jump in, you go, oh, thank you, mind, but I'm focusing on these sacred words. And you pull your mind right back to those sacred words, 10 minutes. And you will find that throughout the day, then you can more easily quiet that mind because the human mind is all about fear and worry and anxiety. And we are not that. We are the soul. We have infinite wisdom about this world, this universe, how it's moving forward, and our special role in it as a light carrier. Now, one more thing, January. January is a 1 month. So as we add that one to the universal one, we realize that January becomes a two universal month. Now, some of you may be confused because 2025 was a nine universal year. And that meant that every time we added a month number to it, like for example, looking at August, an 8 month, we added that to the nine, we get a 17, which becomes an eight. And so the universal number of August became the same number as the month, eight, because nine, when you add anything to it, it comes back to the original number. So now, as we move into 2026, the numbers behave differently because now we're adding the one, universal 1 year, to the number of the month. Good news, because that means January is a 2 month within the launching of the one universal year. So, for what that means is really good. It means we will be coming together in January. There will be some reason or some ability for all of us to find grace in our relationships, healing in our relationships, talking to each other again, and really stepping into that new kindness, compassion, and understanding that this new cycle is calling us to. So remember, in January, even though you're under the universal influence of the one of 2026, the month becomes a two. So reach out to those connections and relationships, even the good ones, and just spend time with people and then try to heal the ones that have been painful or have been broken in 2025. January is a great year for connection, and that also means a great month. January is a great month for connection, but also a great month for connection to spirit, to the angels, to your departed loved ones, to your guides. Use that two energy to connect you to the higher source, to God consciousness, to all the good stuff that lives beyond the physical. So I predict January is just going to be a much more loving month than we've had for a while and really get us connecting and talking again. And then we step into February, which we'll talk about next month, but that's going to be that's a 2 month in a 1 year. So that's going to be a 3 month. And if you remember, this December has been that we're in now is a three universal month, and that's what we go back into in February under the influence of the one universal year. Now, probably you have questions. Okay, so how does this affect my personal year number? So that's a good question, and your personal year number is always going to be impacting your personal life. So I am moving into a 7 personal year, which means my spiritual wisdom is being called upon all year. My deep meditations, my inner reflection, my writing, it's the only way for me to move through these shifts of 2026. Even when I'm under the influence of the two of the month of January, I have to remember that my 7 rules my spiritual listening, my meditation, my seeking. And all of you have a different personal year. And when you go to the soul path calculator, you can clarify what it is. And then you look at how that's affecting your personal life, but also now you understand you're under a one universal year, new beginnings. Focus on that. And then the month of January, use it to connect to your beloveds, to your higher self, to your angels, to the God source. And on that note, I will pause, take a breath, and we will open it up for questions. So please ask me what you would like to ask.